Okay, guys, so I'm so excited for tonight. We are going to get started, and then as you hop on, you'll catch the recording. So tonight, how this is going to work is on here, I have my 5 amazing leaders, and what they're going to do is they're going to share a little bit of their story, and each of them have a tip. So we're going to go over how to get LCs, how to get distributors, how to train new distributors. We're going to go over some tough love kind of deal, like how to go through the motions in this business and still work your business through the tough times. We're going to go over some month-end tips, and I'm going to end with mindset and dreaming bigger. So Sasha's going to start off with telling her story and going over getting customers. And if everyone could just mute themselves, just make sure everyone's muted, Sasha, so we can hear everyone. But yeah, just get started.
Hold on, let me mute everything again.
Yeah, just mute me too, because Luna's going nuts. Just unmute me once you're done.
Okay, hey. So, my name is Sasha, and I joined 3 years ago. And I joined after watching Nay for literally 6 months. So I had reached out to her in the summer, and I was working 3 jobs at this point, and I was going to grad school. And it was either me going and bartending or me finding this, because I literally had no other time. I was up at 5:30 in the morning. I wasn't home until super late at night. And I was working 7 days a week, and I was going to school, and I was super tired. I was super busy, and I was super broke. So I knew that I needed to find something else to do, because I couldn't just keep living that way. I was maxing out credit cards all the time. And I was just sick of living that life. So I kept watching Nay, and I was super envious when I saw her post, because this girl's 19, and she's sleeping in, and she's driving a Mercedes, and she's doing all these amazing things. And here I am with my car, and my gas tank's leaking, and they're telling me my car's gonna blow up if somebody rear ends me, and I can't even afford McDonald's, and I'm working all these jobs, and I was so miserable. So I was super envious. So I'd reached out to her, and I was tell me what you do, and she told me everything, and I told her I was going to join that night, and then I ignored her for 3 more months, and she followed up with me so consistently, hey, are you ready? Hey, I got one more spot. Hey, I'm super ready to get you started, and followed up with me so consistently to a point where I almost blocked her, because I was oh my God, stop following up with me, I'm not going to sign up with you. And then one day something snaps, and I was you know what, I have to give this a try. My life literally hasn't changed within those 3 months. And that's something I relate to so much when people are ignoring me, or they say that, this is just not the right time. I totally get it. I put off joining for 3 months, and that was my biggest mistake I've ever made in this business. And so I ended up joining. And as soon as I joined, I was oh my God, what did I just do? I've never been good at sales. I can't even sell a Girl Scout cookie. I can't sell a thing. And I'm so awkward. I will never sell anything. So, but the thing is I listened to everything Nay was telling me to do. So if she told me to post, I would post, even though I was scared to post, If she told me to message, I would message, even though I didn't feel comfortable doing that. So my first year, I kind of just twiddled my thumbs in this business, and I really didn't do anything. I was very consistent with posting and being, a network marketer, because I was, doing that. But I never was putting in intentional work. So I didn't have goals. I didn't have a dream board. I didn't have a chart. I literally didn't have anything. I was just la, 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 it works, and that was it. There's nothing to it except for I'm doing this, and this is awesome, So, then I had a Zoom with Emily Worsing, and I literally asked her all the questions that related to me, why can't I sign customers? Why can't I sign distributors? These girls are promoting, I suck. I joined at the wrong time. All these stupid excuses that we fill ourselves with. And she kind of shut me down so hardcore that night. And I was man, ouch, that was a big fat slap in the face. And that night I was you know what, I'm gonna quit, because this just isn't for me. All these girls are successful. I'm not. This is stupid. I should have already been successful. Everybody's promoting. I'm left behind. This is dumb. I'm going to quit, I was going to take the easy way out. So that night, Adam was just sleep on it. And I was shut up, roll over, leave me alone. This is none of your business. If I'm going to quit, I'm going to quit. Shut up. So the next morning, it was November 1st. I woke up and I was okay, you know what? I'm going to start taking this seriously. And that's exactly what I did. I started doing self-development, because self-development is huge. And I remember, Nate would tell me, watch The Secret, read these books, get a better mindset. And I was okay, because a better mindset's going to help me enroll. You're bugging out, because you're not really ever taught that. So I started doing like self-development. I started coming up with goals. I made a dream board. I started treating this business as a priority, and I started treating this business with intention. And so I started that in November, and then in December I promoted to Diamond. January charted double, February hit double, sat at double for a year, hit triple in February, and then hit Prez 2 months ago. And it's honestly been like the most amazing journey of my life. Like I love it so much. Like I'm super obsessed with it. I like wake up and I think about it. I think about it all day long. I just like love this business so much. So anyway, so talking about like getting loyal customers. So it honestly like goes down to like, do you believe that you can do it? If you can fully believe that you can sign up loyal customers and you can help people, you're going to do it. One of the biggest things that's helped me is, you know, actually using the products. So when I first started this business, I didn't even know what we offered. Like, I didn't even know what a body wrap was. I was like, oh, tighten, tone, and firm. I'm like, what are you going to tighten, tone, and firm? Like, I don't understand. Like, what's a body wrap, you know? I had no idea. And I also didn't know we had other, like, 50 other products. Like, I had no idea what we offered. So I actually didn't use the products for like quite a long time. And when I actually started using the products and like started seeing my own results, started seeing my friends' results, everything became so much more real. So if you're not using the products, start using the products, get your own testimony because it's going to be so helpful to you. Every single day that you wake up, make sure you guys have a goal in mind. Like every single morning I wake up, I manifest and I think like, what do I want to achieve today? Do I want 5 customers, 2 distributors? Do I want to fast start 3 people? Do I like whatever I want, I manifest. So for instance, like when I first started, getting more loyal customers, it was me envisioning the fact that people were blowing up my DMs being like, yes, I'm super interested in your products. Yeah, sure. What is this all about? Maybe. Could you tell me more? That's what I would envision. People, giving me the time of day in order for me to tell them the products. Then as that went on and the more people were saying yes and the more successful conversations I was having, that turned into me manifesting just my Instagram blowing up, people reaching out to me, my phone blowing up, people coming to me after literally ignoring me for months being like, hey, I know we talked in the past about getting started on the products, but that wasn't a good time. I'm ready to order now. So if I can just envision my phone blowing up, I know I can sign customers because I've built that confidence, but that confidence took time. You know what I'm saying? And it takes consistency. Like what we're told to do is so simple, post on your Instagram, post on your Insta story. Like I'm blowing up my Insta story every single day. I'm very consistent with messaging. And the biggest thing is being intentional. Like I don't just message to message. I message with a goal in mind, because we can all aimlessly message and that's honestly going to get you nowhere. And that all goes into mindset as well. So if your mindset is like, whatever, like I'm doing this because I have to, not because I have a goal in mind, not because I have a promotion in mind, but just because I have to, you're not going to get anywhere. So, make sure you're getting tons of followers all the time. Make sure you're blowing up your Insta story. Make sure you're posting spammy pictures every once in a while on your Instagram. You can go ahead and delete it. Your Instagram should always look nice, but every once in a while, throw in a spammy picture because that is what people love to see. People love to see those results, and just like message as many people as you possibly can, obviously without getting blocked, but message people all day long, like all the time. Write down your goals every single day. If you have to physically look at it, write it down so you can see it every single day. Don't go to bed until you've met your goals. Don't go to bed unless you've exhausted every single possibility for you to get a customer. Follow up with people from the day before, 2 days before. Hey, I'm so sorry. Did I catch you at a bad time? You know what I'm saying? Your uplines like always have such amazing, follow-ups and tips for you to use, but you have to use your upline too. You have to be like, hey, give me a follow-up. Hey, what are you doing to sign so many customers? Hey, is this story successful for you? You know what I'm saying? So blow up your upline, blow up your sideline, blow up somebody's phone who you look up to, be like, hey, you're so successful. Like, help me. How are you signing that many customers? So that's honestly like my best tips. I hope that like was good enough.
Cool. I love it so much. I freaking love your energy. You're getting me pumped up right now. Okay. So we're going to go on to Gabby V. And Gab, just tell us your story and how you sign up so many distributors.
Okay. Hi guys, I'm Gabby. I'm a double diamond. I signed up last June, the end of last June, when it was $10 to sign up. I was works before I was a distributor. I used the cleanse for like 2 years. Was absolutely addicted to it. And then last summer I felt like I was at a really low point in my life as a whole. I'm a nursing major, so I go to school, obviously. And last summer I was working 3 jobs. I just like had no time for anything. I like didn't have a social life. I didn't have friends. I just was so focused on like making money to go to school and like preparing myself for literally having no time during the school year because of how like strenuous my program is. And last summer, the girl who signed me up, literally I saw on Instagram her posting about like, oh, join my team for $10, make extra money. And then like I saw there was a picture of the cleanse I used to use and I was like, what is this? I'm so confused. So I reached out to her and I ended up signing up right there on the spot. I was like, yeah, I really can't work 3 jobs anymore and not have a life. So we're going to need to do this and make it work. And I signed up and then she quit. So I literally had no upline to help me with absolutely anything. And that's how it went for about 6 months. Literally cannot stress enough that when I say that I had no one to speak to or like an upline to like talk about anything with, I just didn't. Like I had no clue what I was doing with the business. Like I said, I'm a nursing major, so no marketing experience, nothing. Like what to post on my story was like the biggest anxiety inducing thing of the day because I had no clue what I was doing. And then I went back to school and I realized, hey, I still cannot be working 3 jobs while going to school. And I just started to take It Works more seriously. And that's when I reached out to Nay and I was like, this is such a shot in the dark, but I need help because I want to be successful. And if any of you are on this call right now and you feel like you are not getting the most out of who is helping you, continue to reach out to a sideline or somebody because this business works if you work it. I literally did nothing for my first 6 months and that's like my biggest regret because I could have promoted so much quicker and like really worked this business, but God has a plan, whatever, that's okay. We're here where we are today. So I started from January. I've been promoting each month. I went Diamond in April and then I went Double Diamond in August. And that's where we're at right now. So I was going to talk about getting distributors because I firmly believe in getting distributors. Like my biggest tip for them is being the type of person you would be attracted to. So many times people like post on their story, oh, join my team, and it's this really spammy pic. I'm like, first of all, I would never, if I'm the consumer, I would never want to like sign up with someone like that. Like if you see this black and green bling and you're like, oh, join me, like there is nothing that is showing me why I want to join you or what I want to do with you. So how I started to make my Instagram and my social media is like being the type of person, and like the saying, your vibe attracts your tribe, is so, so true. If you are not putting out the positive, like good things that you want back from people, you're not going to get them. So the way I post, usually on my story every single day, I'm posting something about now hiring. And I do that. It doesn't matter if it's in the morning. It doesn't matter if it's at night. I will always have something on my story that says now hiring because you're always hiring. And then the way I post is I only post about joining this business. I mean, sometimes I throw in loyal customer, like Sasha was saying, like you want to throw in like a loyal customer post, but the majority of my posts are life posts. They're showing what this business has done for me, how it affects me every single day. This entire summer, like how I said to you guys last summer, I worked 3 jobs. This summer, I didn't work any job at all, just thanks to It Works. So I was able to the entire summer talk about like, It Works let me take a whole summer off and travel. Like I traveled so many places this summer and to do so. Use that every single day. And I really like, sometimes you have to sit down, like what does It Works afford me? And like I can go to school in New York City and pay my rent in New York City at 20 years old because of It Works. And when you post something from the heart like that and something meaningful, people pick up on that and they're like, wow, this girl really loves what she does and loves this business, and I want to be a part of that. And so many people DM me daily and they're like, you look like you're living your best life. Like, what do you do? And then I tell them I work for this amazing company and it allows me to work from my phone, and like it's health and wellness. What more could you get? Health and wellness is never going to go out of style. There's someone always wanting to like fix their skin or like fix their weight or anything, like, and you just want to help people. That is the biggest thing too. Like you need to be in this business to want to help others as much as you want to help yourself. Otherwise you will not succeed. It cannot be a selfish act. So my biggest tip is just be real when you're posting. Don't say, oh, like a lot of times it's hard for new distributors because they're like, oh, I haven't really been in long, so I don't really know what to post about. Just keep being you. Even if you don't have anything right now to say like, a lot of top leaders have bought new cars or new houses, or like I moved into an apartment. Even if that's not you, don't compare yourself and then get discouraged about it. Like, use whatever story, like, in 3 months it works is going to allow me to not have to work the 3 jobs. And in 3 months it works is going to give me this. Be realistic and just like connect with your followers, because those are your people that are going to be buying from you and joining you and everything. So yeah, just be the type of vibe that you want to like attract, you know? That's my biggest thing, I think.
Am I unmuted?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So Gab, so quickly, like, do you sign distributors on the spot, or are you following up with them a lot? Like, I want to go over that just because I don't know if you talked about that, but talk about if you're following up with them a lot or if you're signing them up on the spot. Like, how do your conversations usually go?
Okay, so normally people reach out to me, and like I said, they're like, you look like you're living your best life. What do you do? And I tell them, and they're like, oh, that's awesome, but I don't know if that's for me. And I usually ask why, and they say because they don't know about marketing. I'm a nursing major. Like I said, I am the furthest thing from marketing. So it kind of takes me, I like 9 out of 10 times don't sign them up on the spot. It is consistent following up, because the more people are looking at your post and constantly seeing what you're doing, the more interested they become. And I can't stress how important it is to follow up. Like, a lot of people are like, oh, I don't want to be annoying. You're not. You're constantly staying in the forefront of someone's brain, and that's going to make them more likely to sign up then, instead of you like never following up with them and them signing up with another girl. Because if they had the interest in the first place, they're going to sign up eventually. Like Sasha was saying, it took her so long to sign up with Nay. Like, that happens to people, and they're very skeptical when you think about it. Like, someone who has no marketing background or like anxiety with that, they might not want to sign up at first. So following up is definitely key, and just like continuing to stay consistent with them.
Perfect. I love all of that. Love it, love it, love it. I don't think I have anything else to ask you, but yeah, guys, like being consistent with, I just want to add, being consistent with following up with distributors is key, because I rarely sign up people on the spot. I sign up so many of my distributors just from being consistent with just following up with them almost every day or every other day, because I'm reminding them of this opportunity, why they were interested to begin with when they reached out to me, and why they should still join the business. So thanks, Gab. Love it. Now we're going to go on to Gabby Finelli. So can you, I call you Finelli still, I'm not used to the last name, your new last name, but can you talk a little bit about your story and how to train new distributors, especially with these $20 kits? If you purchase your conference ticket, you know, taking advantage of this, it could be overwhelming to train new people all at once. So can you just talk about that and your story a little bit, please?
Yeah, of course. So this December makes 2 years that I've been with the business. My last semester of my senior year of college, Nay reached out to me on Instagram asking if I wanted to be a product model. And funny story, it took her 5 times of following up with me before I actually became a loyal customer. So don't give up on people. So I lost a ton of weight on the triple threat system. So when I graduated college and everybody was noticing that I lost weight and asking me what I was doing, Nay was like, well, why don't you just become a distributor? And at the time, I really had no time. I was working 2 jobs 6 days a week. I got an office job that didn't pay anything, so I had to waitress on the weekends. So after, thinking about it for probably like a couple days, not that long, I decided to just jump on, because I spend money on many things that don't give me a paycheck. So why not just spend $99? So I
spending so much money monthly ordering for me, because
yeah,
you're getting like 3 products for me. So I'm like, you spent like over $200 over the course of those 3 months seeing those results, and you kept like talking about how many people were like asking you what you were doing. And
it was.
You should do this and share these products with these people who are asking you what you're doing to lose so much weight. But yeah,
it was so funny. So when I signed up, there was a $500 Ruby bonus. I got the Ruby bonus in my first 30 days. And then I sat at Ruby for a very long time, for months and months, just because I didn't really take advantage of the business. I was working at like a hobby and not a business. So although I was a high paid Ruby, it took me 10 months to get to Diamond. And then this July I went double and got the $10,000 bonus. So, long story short, I quit my office job 4-5 months in. And then when I went Diamond, I stopped waitressing, and this is my full-time job now, and I absolutely love it. It is so life-changing. We've been able to buy a house at 23 years old. We don't have, much debt at all besides our house, and we're able to travel when we want. Connor has a really bad medical issue, and actually this month, he's working at all. He had to take the whole month off just to go see different doctors, and we're not worried at all because my paycheck can cover all the bills. So this is real, guys. This is insane. I never thought I could work from my phone. And the other funny thing is I literally talked crap about It Works people. I blocked It Works people all the time. So you never know what God has for you. But just gonna jump in. I have a list of 5 quick tips that I do to train my distributors. But before I even get into that, before you even add people to the page, I think the number one thing you need to do is check yourself. You need to make sure that you're working your business to the fullest before you invest yourself in somebody else, because people don't join this business and pay $99 to work for you. They're joining and paying to own their own business and own their own time and have freedom. So you need to, maybe this might piss a couple people off, but if you're not running your auto ship, don't tell your girls to run their auto ship. If you're not using the products, don't tell your girls to use the products. If you're not paying for e-suites, don't tell your girls you need to keep their e-suites on. If you're not messaging, blowing up your Insta story, posting, being intentional, following up every day, don't get on your girls if they're not enrolling, because it starts with you. So before you even invest in people, make sure every day that you're checking yourself, because if you're at a point where you feel girls aren't enrolling, and this has happened to me, and I'm sure this has happened to all leaders on here, you really have to look back at yourself and saying, what am I not doing in my business? Because when you're enrolling and doing amazing, you're gonna attract rock stars, and your energy is gonna flow through your team. So like I said, check yourself. As soon as I enroll my girls, I don't overwhelm them. I think that's really huge. Do not tag everybody. Don't tag them in every post, okay? Just start with the 2 videos under the announcement section. Everything you need is on our page, guys. Go under the announcement, the first 2 videos, and I'll say, hey, text me when you've watched the 2 videos I tagged you in with any questions that you have. And then they'll text me with questions that they have. Sometimes I'll get people on a FaceTime or a phone call if they have so many questions. It's just easier that way and more personal. And then after they've watched the 2 videos, told me they've watched them, I'll send them a text message. And I actually got this from Nay, and it's been working so good for me. And I was going to have one of my girls put it in the comments below, just because I think it's so great. And it's just basically saying, if you want to run, I'm going to run with you, and I'm here for you, and just kind of describing how you're going to coach them and lead them and their next steps. And it's been working really well. So my girl Kaylee is going to put that in the comments. And I think that's really important to understand and set that up for them to understand, it's their business. It's not your job to, enroll customers for them. So if they want to run, you're going to run with them. And that also goes to say that you can't make people work. So something else I wanted to throw in too is, I don't know, maybe some of you guys feel this way, because I have felt this way too, but not everybody you enroll is going to work. So don't feel bad. You might enroll 10 distributors and maybe a handful end up really working, and that's okay, because you get your $99 fast starts off of them, and you've given them the opportunity and everything they need. They might come back later on, and that's okay. So don't get upset and just decide I'm going to quit and give up just because the distributors you signed on aren't working. There's so many people on Instagram that you can make a difference in their lives with this business. So don't give up just because some people quit. So after I send them that first text, immediately, this keeps me accountable and them. I tell them, hey, every day, whatever I post on my Insta story, screenshot and post on yours. So that goes back to what I said, keeping yourself in check, because that's going to make you put stuff on your Insta story every single day. And then they have no excuse. They just go on my Insta story every day. Everything I post on my Insta story, they post on theirs. I don't give them a post for their Instagram right away. I just tell them, hey, start screenshotting when I post my Insta story, put it on yours, and then make a list of 10 people minimum that you would text if you found something super important today. Who are the first 10 minimum people that you would text, and reach out to them about trying a product. And I just give them like a really simple message, just, saying that they're really excited about something new they started, and that they need some people to try some products for them, and they'll give them a huge discount. And then they send a list of options and we go from there. So they're reaching out to people they know first, which is more comfortable most of the time. And it's getting them used to messaging. They're sending me screenshots. Then after that, number 2, so that's number 1, number 2, I give them my message for Instagram, and I have them reach out to 10 followers and send it to 10 people on Instagram and send me the replies. So again, they're just getting used to messaging. I'm not going to right away be like, okay, follow 1,000 people a day and message 100 people right now and post this and that. You want to like baby steps. You don't want to overwhelm people. Okay. So that's number 2. And then slowly I'm going to work up after they send those 10 messages and I've answered the screenshots. I'm like, okay, awesome. Send 10 more. And then from there, number 3, this is really important to me. I don't know if you guys do this, but self-development has totally changed my business. I can talk about it for hours, but I'm not going to. I go on YouTube and I send them a link to the You Are a Badass at Making Money Audible. That way they're not even having to buy it. It's free on YouTube. And I say, hey, self-development is huge for your business. Here's a free link to an Audible book that I have loved. You can listen to while you're putting your makeup on in the morning, in the car, while you're in the shower. And I just immediately get them in the right mindset and used to listening to self-development, because not everybody knows how to dream bigger and think bigger. Number 4, I help them set up Captivate and Cleaner. There's a video on our page on how to use Captivate, so you can tag your girls in that. And then a lot of times, like, I'll just help them and tell them how to set it up, because you want them to be growing their network on their current page. Make sure that, you don't want them to make a new Instagram and start from the bottom. You want them to just keep growing their network. And that's the great thing too. If you have somebody that is nervous about using their Instagram, that's why I think it's great to have them just start posting on their Insta story first, and messaging people they know, because people are literally going to be coming to them that, trust them, that follow them without them even reaching out to them by seeing their Insta story. And then number 5, I just talk to them about posting. I always tell my girls, and things have changed so much, guys, since I first started, but I always tell them, don't change how you post, what you post. Incorporate the business into who you are. Sorry if you hear Connor. He's so obnoxious. I think he's either watching football or playing Fortnite. I don't know. But I always tell them, he's like still going.
We can't hear him now. I could hear him before though.
But I always encourage them, like, don't change what you post. Like, if you post pictures with your boyfriend, with your dog, like cute outfits, keep doing that. Like, don't change who you are. Just incorporate the business into the captions. And, I'll show them where to find great business captions, because that's a huge thing. I think that's something people are scared of with network marketing. Oh my gosh, I don't want to, post all these annoying things. Well, you don't have to. You're posting about the products on Insta story mainly. And then you're continuing to show who you are even more and incorporating business into your posts. So those are just like the 5 basic things. I work with my new distributors for, about 7 days, a full week, like one-on-one, giving them posts and, every day, like, hey, you have any screenshots for me, and just like being there for them. And then I let them know, like, hey, if you need anything, reach out to me, let me know. And if I have placed them under a leader that is a solid leader that's working, I'll go ahead and connect them with that leader to create layered leadership, because that's so important in your business. And that takes a little bit of pressure off you to create layered leadership and create more leaders on your team. And that's basically.
I love that. You like went over things that I wouldn't have even thought about. So thanks so much for all those tips. And it's so important to just take that all in and listen to like what she really just said, because it's just hitting on all aspects from when they start to when they start being leaders, so when they're like babies to like 10 years old, like they're transitioning in the business. So it's all important things that we should be doing every single day when we sign up new distributors. So thanks, Gab. Now we're going to go over to Carli. So talk about your story and about kind of just going through tough times in the business, not making excuses, and just like basically like no excuse attitude as to why this business should always be like one of the number one priorities, You're muted.
Hi
there you
guys,
go.
I'm Carli Cardona and I'm a triple diamond leader. And I've been doing this for 3 years, so I've actually been through like so many seasons in the business. But I started this when like as a broke college kid, just like all of us, I'm sure, like a lot of us. So like I was working the summer that I learned about It Works, I was working 65 plus hours a week, like literally no time for anything. I was working at a restaurant and a retail store, so like I would go back and forth. I would work like most of the time I would work in the mornings at the retail store and then like go straight to my other job at the restaurant. And it was like crazy because I literally had no time for anything. Like even my responsibilities were getting neglected and like laundry was piling up, everything. It just sucked. Like it sucked because like I needed the money for school. I needed it because I was transferring to FIT that summer, like that fall. So I was like, okay, I need every cent, like I need to save up. So like it just sucked because like you can't save money when you're constantly working and having to pay for everything. So I'm like this is not a life that like college kids should have. Like you really are out of college and you're in debt and you just are broke all your life. So I was like, I need to do something different. I need to like make money somehow. Like I heard about making money from your phone, but never really thought about it. And then I saw Nate posting and like I went to Bridgeport with her. So like I went to Bridgeport and then at community college. So at this point I was in the community college, but I saw her posting about how she was making $2,000 working from her phone, like sitting by the pool, hanging out with friends all summer long. I was like, oh my gosh, I need that life. I didn't have that. Like I couldn't even make $2,000 a month at that point. And I was working all those hours. So I was like, I need to do something different. And I just kept watching her. And then I saw like her friend Cassie like promoted and made another bonus. And then they made a $10,000 bonus. I was like, all right, let me just reach out to her. So I reached out to her. And then like I was super skeptical, whatever. And then I joined. So I kind of had a really slow start. Like in the beginning, I did use working as an excuse. So I started like way later, but I still got my 4 customers. I got my $120 shopping spree. And then the next month I promoted to executive. And I was like high off of life at this point. I was like, okay, like I'm going to do this. Like if Nate could go diamond in 2 months, I can do this. And I just like kept working. And, like at that point I was in school. So like I was like school started. So I was working at the restaurant. I got rid of my retail job. And then I started commuting like 4 hours a day total to and from school. So I could have used that as an excuse. I could have used like working as an excuse or like going to school full time. But like instead I just like woke up an hour earlier every morning, and I wouldn't leave my bed until I messaged 100 people. I messaged 20 people because, like, I interact a lot on Instagram, so I get away with messaging a lot more at a time. So I would follow 100 people at the least. And right now we have Captivate. So back then we didn't. Captivate's great. It's like your personal assistant. You can literally set up who you want to follow for the day, and it literally does it for you. So that's like something you don't even have to think about anymore. So what else? Basically, I was told if you don't like your paychecks, work harder and harder and harder. So every month my paychecks would go up and up, but I still didn't promote. So like, it came like January 2016. So I started August 2015, and I was still an executive, and my paycheck went down, and I was like, okay, I got to work harder. So the next month, like, I actually like went to conference. So I bought my conference ticket. I heard like events change your business, so I bought it that summer, and then I went that February. So I was paid as an executive, and then I promoted to Diamond that month and earned $23,000.
Wait, let me cut you off real quick. So guys, listen, she was paid as an executive, okay? Executives average around $100 to $130 a month, maybe less, maybe more, you know, you never know. She made a priority, even though she wasn't making a lot in the business, she hadn't seen so much success yet. She made a priority to go to conference, even though at this time she could have been like, oh, I'm only an executive, I'm making low paychecks. Like, what if this business doesn't work for me? You know, all these things could have gone through her mind, but she still made it a priority to go to conference. And then look what happened. So keep going.
Yeah, and it's crazy too, because I didn't even know how I was going to be able to afford it. Like, I couldn't even afford school at that point, and I was doing it all on my own. So I just saved every cent I possibly could. Every paycheck I got, I saved up for the hotel so I could split it. Like, you can make conference happen, guys, off of nothing. Like, I know, like, she's been, like, going to events like crazy off of no money. So, like, you just have to make it a part. Like, it's such a huge priority to show up at events. And, like, when you show up, like, it changes your business. Like, I had this fire under me. Like, I needed to go Diamond that month. I was like, I'm going to do anything. I don't care if I have to walk up to people on the street of New York City and ask them to buy products. Like, I'm doing this. And, like, I saw that it was possible. Like, I knew Nay did it. So I was like, well, if she did it, I could do it. Like, people have been successful in this. So, like, I'm not kidding when I say anything can happen. You just have to, like, believe it can happen. Like, you have to know and just don't give yourself any excuses. Like, nothing should stop you. Like, put your blinders on and just go for it. Because at that point, I promoted to Diamond with a dead team. So after that, it all became about, like, that's another thing. Like, I want to talk about, like, micromanaging, because, like, after that, I started micromanaging my team, thinking, like, I couldn't bring in all the volume on my own. And, like, I started really, like, not, like, being controlling, but kind of, like, not trusting who I was enrolling. Like, you're teaching them exactly what you're doing. You got to duplicate it and make sure that what you're doing is super duplicatable, because your leaders need to know what they need to do and what they have to, like, what they need for their charts, everything. So, like, you can't micromanage people. And then also, I wanted to say, like, you can't compare yourself to others either, because everyone's journey is so different. So, like, I went, like, to school, and now, like, I got married along the way. I got to move to Florida. Like, I picked up in New York, moved to Florida with my mom because she was in a really bad situation. She had to leave her husband, and, like, I was able to support her because of this business. So in Florida, like, I was helping her out, getting her back on her feet, and then, like, my husband called, said we're getting transferred to Virginia. So we packed everything up from Florida, moved to Virginia, and, like, it's been such a blessing in disguise, because, like, I can bring this business anywhere I go. Like, I don't have to take off of work when he's home, because I don't see him often, because he's deployed at, like, 3 months at a time. So, like, this allows me to do all of this. So, like, there's days where I don't want to work and I don't want to put in the effort, but I'm like, you have to. Like, this is what supports me and my family. This is my backbone to everything. So, like, those days I don't want to do things, I put this forward and I think of it first. Like, this comes first because this is what supports us. So, like, the Coast Guard doesn't pay anything, by the way. So it's really sad. But, like, it's true. So you can use that all as an excuse. And then, like, him being deployed, like, his first patrol was the worst thing ever. I got so depressed the first month, and I was like, what am I doing? I stopped working my business because, like, you can't message on, like, a negative mindset. It was just terrible. I wasn't getting anywhere with it. So, like, I stepped up. I was like, all right, I noticed what I was doing, and I was like, this can't happen. My team was falling apart. I'm like, this is not okay. So I changed everything. I like started really investing myself in Grant Cardone and like trying to get back on self-development, and like that helped so much. But I didn't use him being away as an excuse to not work my business. Like that's such a tough thing, and like I'm attached to him. Like we've been together for like 7 years now, so like, you know, like you get attached. So not being with him like at your side, like it's a struggle. So like you just can't use anything as an excuse. Like
and you don't even get to talk to him every day either, right? When he's like on the boat.
Definitely not. No. And like another thing, like I don't want to be morbid or anything, but like my uncle passed away in the business. Like this business allowed me to work it while I was allowed to go to his funeral because of this business. Like that wouldn't have happened. I wouldn't have been able to take off of work, because like you have to like basically put it in a form to like get approved. And like it's just like it's been such a blessing. So like I know people like pass away too, like during the business. Like you can't use that as an excuse. You have to keep working your business. Like use that as a positive thing, like a positive outlet, you know, like this is a positive business. So it actually was really like kind of bright during a dark time. So what else? Another thing I want to go over is like what we do is so simple, so don't overcomplicate it, because I've done that so many times in the past, and all we do is message, post, follow up, and like update our Instagram stories, and just, you know, we do all that. So like that's all we do. All you have to do is just show what you do with your life, and people want to be a part of that. Like go live. Like that's been life changing too, like business changing. People want to see into your life. So kind of try and be transparent like that. Like people want to see you. Like it's okay if you mess up, like you're a human. Like it's okay if you make mistakes. So like people love that, and they love seeing you animated and seeing you like as a person in real life. So that's all good stuff. What else? I have a tip for people. Like one thing like I really did in the beginning, which helped so much, was listen to my leaders and copy everything they did. Like you got to take their advice, watch them like a hawk, and just copy them, because they obviously are successful for a reason. So like do what they have done. Like if your enroller is like posting tons on their Instagram story, it's most likely because it's working. So like copy them, you know, like it works so well. So like they're also helping you try and avoid mistakes they've made in the past and get the results that you want quicker. So take their advice. They're there to help. And then also something that was so cool to me, like someone once said that the longest it took someone to promote to ambassador was like 5 or 6 years. And I was like, wow, like that's it, 5 or 6 years. Like I could be in this business for $30,000 a month. That's insane to me. I was like, all right, like, okay, so eventually I'm going to see success. I'm going to see it. So like, I just have to keep working my butt off. So like, if it means 5 years of just working this business consistently, like, isn't $30,000 a month worth it? So like, that always like helped me stay on track too with my goals and stuff like that. 'Cause I'm very money driven. But what else do I have to talk about? Basically, there's always going to be hard times and difficult seasons in your life, but you just have to adapt this business to your life. Like if you want it to be something long-term that's going to build something for you and your future family or your legacy, like you just have to stick with it and put it first. Think about it before you do things. Like, it's like what's going to support you. Do you have anything else to say? I think that's it.
Yeah, I think you hit on all like the perfect topics, and you know the biggest thing for you is Brandon being away. You know, like don't make your why, and he's your why. You know, and he's your, like, you guys are married, like you guys are a family right now. It's more about you two than like everyone else. You know, like he's your why, and you're not making him an excuse. You're making him your why, and why to keep going. You know, and not give up when he's away because you're so upset and you're trying to adapt to that, you know, because there's always going to be changes in life. So I love that so much. Thanks for sharing, Carli. Okay. So Britt, talk about like month-end tips, you know, because we're coming up to the end of the month. If you're very close to a promotion, or if you think you're not close and you're like missing volume and you're like, I don't know what to do, Britt's going to share some tips and what she does to bring in lots of volume, because when she went triple 2 months ago, right? You and your team together brought in lots of volume. So share those tips with us.
So I'm Brittany. I'm a triple diamond. I joined in 2016. And back when I joined, I wasn't really in. I kind of joined and I was a typical 9-to-5er. I had graduated from college. I knew that I liked my career. I didn't really, I didn't see potential with this only because I was so set in my ways. I was a little bit older than the girls that I joined with, Nayara. And I just kind of, I liked the extra cash that it was bringing in, but I didn't really care that, I didn't see it as a career path. I had already had mine. So for about a year, I twiddled my thumbs like a lot of us do, and I kind of just made a little extra cash here and there. And then I actually quit without telling Nayara I quit. I was posting sometimes, and I just kind of fell off slowly. And then last August, I actually, I just had like this overwhelming feeling. I hated my job. I hated my situation. I was sick of busting my butt for a company and getting X amount of dollars. I was on a salary. I was doing a lot of work, and I just kept seeing Nayara's posts. Even though I had already joined her, I kept seeing her posts and what she was doing and what these other girls that I had met, because I had gone to a couple events, were doing, and I just couldn't fathom or wrap my head around what they were doing. So in August, I was like, you know what? I'm back. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to be all in with all my efforts. I'm not going to be half in. I'm not going to have one foot out the door. I'm going to really do this. So I quit my job and I went all in, not saying you have to do that. I just did that because it was like a life-changing event in my life. So I went all in with It Works. I changed my mindset. I changed the way that I viewed everything that was going on with the business. I made it a priority. And I really just opened my mind to possibilities that this company could give me. And from August to about like November, I like slowly gained my ranks back. And then I wasn't going to go to conference in January, and it's so important to get to events. And this is why. It was like the night, like it was like a week before, like they were leaving. And I finally, Nayara kept telling me I needed to go. And I was like, I really don't have the money to go. Like, I'm just getting paid as an emerald right now. And that was the highest rank I'd ever been. And she was like, you just need to get there. Just get there. So I like talked it over, and I found the money somehow. I don't know how I found it. I was so broke. And I got to conference. And that month I went diamond in January, and then February I went double diamond. And then 4 months later I was chartered for triple. And then this past 2 months ago in August, I went triple diamond. And that was after I went to another event. So it was just about me getting back all in. So that's my story. But as far as month-end tips, so I first want to start off and say that month-end is, of course, so crucial, but it's important that you're consistent every single day of the month. Every single day of the month, you want to be posting, you want to be putting up stories, you want to be talking to your team, you want to be talking to your upline, you want to be staying motivated, you want to self-develop. At the month end, though, obviously we want to step it up a notch because we're trying to hit promotions or maintain, and we get super nervous. So when I was promoting, and what I do every month is I always, around the 25th, start to add in a free gift. I know right now we're adding in a free gift as a company, but we all have extra products. Add in free samples of collagen if you have it, keto coffee, a wrap. People love free stuff. So if you're talking to a customer and they're on the fence about ordering, just add in an extra something. It could be anything. More than likely, they're going to say yes, because the more free stuff they're getting, the more they're going to want to take advantage of this opportunity. I also love to post on my stories, like excessively, especially at the month end. I found that when I post on my stories about products and the before and afters, like those spammy before and afters, that we like jazz them up a little. They're pretty cute, but just tons and tons and tons of those. When people are home in bed at night, I always load mine before night, because when they're home in bed, if they're interested, they're going to sit there and go through about 100 of them. And if they're not, they're going to skip right over your story. So let the ones that are interested go through and see all of those transformations. Every single day, I wake up to at least 3 replies from my story. So it's super important that you're constantly adding to your story. And just like making an effort to do it, especially at nighttime. I found that's like the most beneficial for me. So free gifts, stories. Let me see what else I had written down. I'm sorry, guys. Oh, so also you want to upsell, right? So whenever you're talking to a customer, when they're on the fence about a product right now, our website is showing them an upsell. Talk to them more about it. It doesn't go into details of what it is. So when they say, oh, it's trying to add greens, explain what greens is if you haven't. Explain that they're getting a free bag of coffee, and now it's going to be a month's supply of coffee instead of just one 15-day supply of coffee. Really have conversations with people and talk to them like they're humans, not just like they're a sale. You want to treat them like they're somebody that you already know, because they're looking at you for advice and they want this product to work for them. So just upsell, talk to them about different products. If they're saying 3 different things, I think sometimes we get so overwhelmed, so we just focus on one thing, whatever we're comfortable with. Make sure that you're incorporating what else they touched on. Even if it slightly interests them, you never know who's going to order it. And then lastly, I think that the most important thing is that your mindset is right. Every morning when I wake up, not just at the end of the month, I make sure that I have my self-development. I go to the gym. I do things that make my mind right. Because if your mind isn't there, you're not going to make any sales. And if you're overthinking it, you're not going to make any sales because you're so concerned with if you're going to get this next person to sign up. They feel it through the phone. So just take a deep breath. Really dive into self-development in the morning. Do whatever it is that gets you relaxed and unwinds. Like, I have to go to the gym. I have to work out. That calms me down. And then start working and talking to people. I think it's just important that you treat people like they are people and not that they're the sale that you need to get your promotion. When you start to treat them like they're people, you'll find that a lot more are signing up with you because they feel important. I think that's it.
Perfect. Love it. I love that you talked about upselling because, that is something for me that I don't know who I was talking to. It was either Bray or Gabby or Sasha. I don't know. I talk to you guys all every single day, so I don't know. But for me, I was getting a lot of 30s. So I was just selling the 15-day supply of the keto coffee because I was nervous to go from $39 to 15-day supply to $78. So it was oh my gosh, it's so much. I was putting this into my mind, right? Or the triple threat with the coffee, greens, and the thermophyte. Instead of just doing 2 bags of coffee and making it a 129 BV order, I think it was a 90 only, big difference. And I was I'm nervous to offer $39 over 78. And I was you know what, I'm just going to do this. Last month when I promoted to ambassador, I needed volume. So I was I'm just going to do this. I'm going to go for it. And when I did, it was working. So now I get so many 129s instead of selling just 30s, I do 60s. When I do keto coffee and greens, I do 90s. So 2 bags of coffee and greens. Guys, never be scared because you never know what people could actually afford. And when someone wants a change, they're going to spend the money they want to make that change, right? So upselling is so important. It can make such a huge change in your business too. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about just dreaming bigger and, staying inspired in the business, because that's so important. So my name's Nayara. I've been in the business for 3.5 years. It'll be 4 years in April. It's so crazy. I feel I just joined. It doesn't even feel 4 years. I feel that's so long. I feel it hasn't even been this long and it just goes by so fast because I'm always having fun. I literally love my life, and through my journey, I've been through a lot, so I joined this business as a broke college student. I was working 2 jobs, going to school full time. I remember being in school. My mom will tell this story to everyone just because she thinks she's so funny. But I was never good at school. My sister's honor roll. She was in really high classes in school. And I was not. I would high school, I skipped my classes. In college, I didn't get into any of the schools I applied to, except for the University of Bridgeport, which is 15 minutes from my house, commuting. So I literally didn't get into any school. I just got into there by luck. I don't even know how. And it was a private school. It was so expensive. And I got into school not knowing what I wanted to do. I just didn't have the set plan. I feel everyone else did, and my sister especially, so that was super intimidating for me. And, I joined, like I said, I was working 2 jobs. I was going to school full time. And I just was broke. When I got offered this opportunity, I didn't have the $99 to sign up. I had to ask my mom for the $99. And, you know, we talk about it today, like how life-changing it is that she gave me that money to sign up and like what it's done for me and my family. So, you know, I joined while going to school and working 2 jobs. So I was working at the salon as a receptionist and I was waitressing at night. And, you know, I went to school while being in the business for about 2 years, you know, so my life wasn't what it is right now all throughout my business. You know, I had to time manage. I had to wake up earlier. I had to go to bed later to make this business work in my schedule. So, you know, about like 2 years into the business, I just, you know, I'm not saying you have to do this, you know, it just felt right. You know, I finally was passionate about something. Like I finally felt like something was like for me, because in school, like I literally switched my major 3 times. So I was in med tech, I was in nursing, and I was in business marketing. And I was just wasting my time because I was in my junior year of school and like I had nothing figured out yet. So I actually dropped out of school. My parents were very upset. When I talked about dropping out, they like literally, my mom literally bawled her eyes out for like so long, and my dad was like upset. But it was just like something I had to do for myself. Like this is something that I didn't want to go to school anymore. You know, I knew that even if I graduated school, which I only had like a year left, even if I graduated school, I know I wouldn't use my diploma for anything because it works as my life. Like this is like what I love to do. This is what I'm passionate about doing. So I left school. I actually not graduated. I left school with $47,000 in debt, you know, and it was insane because I hadn't even finished school and I wasn't even going to use my degree. And I'm like, you know, this is insane. Like I wish I had found it works when I was 18 before I got into school. So, you know, I joined this business and I promoted like really fast. So I went Ruby in 30 days. I went Diamond in 3 months. I went to conference that year after I joined, and it was life-changing. Like they said, get to an event. I didn't know what the hell they were talking about because I'm like, what could an event really do? Like these people are exaggerating. Like it's not going to be this big of a thing. And it was, because I went to conference. I think I had 2 girls on my team with me, Carli being one of them and another girl with me. And it was life-changing. Like I went to conference and I left conference as a diamond. So I was making about $1,000 a month as a diamond. And I left conference. I promoted to double diamond that month. And I earned a $25,000 bonus. In the month after, I went triple and I earned a $50,000 bonus. So I went from making $1,000 a month as a diamond on average to less than 60 days later, averaging $10,000 a month in my business. And I promoted super fast. So Ruby, Diamond, and sat there for about 8 months. And then I went to conference and my business forever changed. Like every year I promote at conference. So like then the year after I went presidential and earned the $100,000 bonus that year. And this year I didn't promote. I promoted a month ago to ambassador, and it's been literally life-changing. Like this business has, you know, brought me my best friends. Like I literally don't talk to a lot of people that I went to school with anymore. And my best friends and my family basically are this business. You know, I do this full time now. Me and Craig were able to move out of our parents' house for the first time because we were both still living at home 2 years ago. We moved into this apartment, like that's 10 minutes from our house. And we were able to furnish everything in cash. Like we didn't have to finance anything. Like we went to the stores and they're like, okay, so no interest, 1 year. How does that work for you? We're like, we don't want to do that. We want to pay for everything in cash. Like, we don't want to go into an apartment with debt. And they were like looking at us like we were crazy, you know, and, you know, we've been able to travel. I pay for my mom's mortgage every single month. You know, we are now building our dream home because we're sick and tired of renting. You know, we want something for ourselves. And, you know, we're just literally living the dream. You know, it's like crazy because this business is so real, but it seems like it's like not, because it's like too good to be true, right? But it's really not, because behind all that highlight reel stuff, life happens. You know, like a lot of stuff has happened to, you know, my life within this 3.5 year span, you know, but what I do with those circumstances is what has gotten to me here today. You know, 4 months into the business, my mom got diagnosed with breast cancer, and like my family's like so healthy. Like we don't get sick, like cold, strep, flu. Like we don't, none of that. Like we're so healthy. And when my mom got diagnosed, it was like, I lost my faith for a little bit. I kind of was so mad at God because I was like, why is he doing this to my family? Why is this happening? Because I had prayed so much about it, and I prayed that it wouldn't happen, and it did, but so I had lost my faith for a little bit. I struggled a little bit in my business because after I promoted to Diamond, I sat at Diamond for a long time, but I never stopped working my business. This has helped change so much of my life and so many people's lives. Basically everyone on this Zoom, it all started with me joining, and I changed Sasha's, Brittany's, Gabby's, and it just all trickles down to all of you, so it's so insane. So, my parents got divorced. I moved a bunch of times. I've been through life, but what's so amazing is that this business comes along with me. I was able to, I've always been super religious, and this business has just grown my faith to another level because our company is so amazing, Christian based. We're not all about money. Our CEO teaches us, to do things that school didn't teach us and society doesn't teach us. It's so amazing. So, I want to talk about dreaming bigger and staying inspired because that's huge. I made a dream board for the first time this year, 3 months ago. Okay. Yeah. I'm admitting to it that I did that. I make a dream board every year, but I made a dream board for the first time, I think in June. I sat down with Craig and I'm like, we need to make dream boards. We have so much going on in our life. We need to sit down and we need to put this into existence. And we did, we sat down, we talked about what we wanted to accomplish within the next year. At this point, we already knew we were building our house. So we have a lot we have to do, and I think that, not that I was scared at that time. I just didn't really know how Ambassador was looking. I didn't know, maybe I was scared to put it out there and keep myself accountable, but it's so important to do that because in June, my Ambassador chart was nowhere near where me thinking that I was going to promote last month. But after I put that on a dream board and I wrote my goals down, it all happened. It's so crazy how putting that out there, dreaming bigger, and even your goals are supposed to scare you, and that's honestly what it did. It was scaring me that I was putting this all out there and having to look at it every day because I'm what if it doesn't happen, but if your goals don't scare you, they're not big enough. And that's what it did to me. It was making me nervous. And that's why I feel I held off so long on making this dream board because I did. And in June, like I said, my Ambassador chart was nowhere being done. None of my legs had promoted. Nothing was in place. And then June, so July, August, September. So in 3 months after I made that dream board, Ambassador happened. All of my legs promoted. So much has happened for the good in my business and in my mindset since then. Dream boards are so important. If you don't know what a dream board is, you don't even have to make it fancy, or even a piece of paper. Write down your goals. If right now you're an executive and your goal is $2,000 a month as a Diamond, write that down. Write that down when you want that to happen, guys. I did it in 90 days. If I can do it, you can do it. I was while going to school, working jobs, being made fun of where I live, nothing should stop you from your goals. So dream board, write your goals down, write what you want to accomplish within the next 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, have that all laid out and look at that every single day because that's what's supposed to inspire you and push you to the next level, and dreaming bigger. Because the big thing is when you start to cross things off your dream board and you don't dream again, you get complacent. You get kind of comfortable where you are. I've never been the one to get comfortable. I'm always okay, what's next? What's next? So you always want to, after you're crossing things off your dream board and accomplishing those things, you want to say, okay, what do I want next? What's the next big, scariest thing that I could accomplish in my business that could be life-changing for me? That's what you want to do. And that's what I did with Craig. And we wrote crazy things on our dream board, for our house, for our team, for our life, for our family. And it was just crazy to see that all on a piece of paper and okay, now I have to put the work behind it, you know? So staying inspired and dreaming bigger is like so important, because if you're not, you don't have a goal to work towards, right? And if you don't have goals, it's kind of like you're just going with the flow and you're like, okay, like I'm just doing it to do it, but you don't have like a certain goal to like accomplish, you know? Like I'm very like goal driven. So it's like, okay, for me, like all my ranks were kind of like I wanted to hit it by a certain time, except big thing. Like it's not something you really plan for. You kind of just have to like work towards it with your team. And like once you're close, like you kind of know when the goal is going to happen. So like the beginning of September, I was like, okay, like this is the month. But before that, I didn't really know. But every other rank, I kind of was like, okay, I want to hit it by this day. Like I want to do it by this. And having those goals is what got me to those ranks when I wanted it to happen, you know, and sometimes it didn't, but I know I was super close to it happening. So guys, right now, basically, if you have a goal by the end of the month that you want to get somewhere, just get it done. Say it out loud every single day, whatever rank you're already at. Like I would literally like talk to myself and introduce it was funny, but like I introduced myself as an ambassador, you know, as I'm like talking to myself in the shower, you know, I'm like, hey guys, like as I was giving a speech, I would say my full name, I'm an ambassador Diamond, and you know, you want to put that out there and you want to feel that energy and you want to feel excited as you're saying those things, because that's what's going to bring things to life. Because if you're not constantly saying, if you're not constantly looking at somewhere, like I have post-its everywhere, I, you know, text people every single morning and I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to get these customers and these distributors. If you don't have these goals and if you don't have things that you need and want to accomplish by a certain time, you're not going to get there. So it's so important to, you know, stay inspired and dream bigger, because yeah, sometimes you get into a negative mindset and you get comfortable where you are. But to get uncomfortable is when you have to whip out that dream board and say, you know, I'm going to get these things done and it's going to happen, but you obviously have to put the work behind it. So we're coming up to an hour now. I don't want to keep you guys on too long, but do you guys have any last minute questions for any of us that you want to ask, or something that we can go over with you? Anything just last minute for you guys? You can either write it in the chat or just unmute yourself.
Hi, I have one question.
Yeah, what's up?
My name's Kamar, by the way.
I can't see you, but you can keep talking. Go.
Okay.
Okay, I see you. Undo. Hey.
My question is, how do you do like the free gift when you have like a potential LC or an actual LC get something from you? How does the free gift work?
So right now, as a company, we're doing free gifts. It already is attached to their order when they order. But like Brittany was saying, if you want to do an extra free gift just for an extra incentive, that's just your own product. So if you have extra products on hand, so like let's say our keto coffee, it's just those on-the-go sample packets. Like if you want to send one of those to your customers, you can. You know, that's on you. But it's awesome because you get customers that way and people are more likely to order with more free stuff, you know. But right now, as a whole company, we're doing free gifts. Like it'll automatically attach to their order. On the final review step, you'll see free gift, $0.
Okay, thank you so much.
No problem. So let's see here. Kim, can you explain what conference is like specifically? Yeah, so Kim, conference is just an event where we're going to be in an arena. So our CEO rents out the Amalie Arena, and it's like a big, like, famous place for hockey in like Tampa. So he rents that out for us for the weekend. So basically, conference is meeting our corporate staff, like our CEO, his wife, Pam, Mike, like everyone that you look up to, you'll be able to meet and talk to at conference. So we're in the arena from like 10 to 1. And then like we have a break and then we go back from like 2 to 5 or something like that. But it's fun. Like it's so fun. Like we're listening to people go on stage and talk about, like there's different topics. People talk about like their business, like what they've been through. They share their story. Like amazing things are announced at conference. There's always like amazing bonuses announced. People that are in the top 100 get to walk across stage. And for me, that was like a big like aha moment at a conference. Like seeing these people that I looked up to walk across stage as top 50, top 100. And it was so inspiring because I'm like, you know what? Like I watch these people on social media every single day. Like if they can do it, I can do it too, So you get to just meet people. And I don't know, guys, do you guys have anything to add about conference? Like what it's like really about? It's really just meeting people, listening to stories, and just having fun. There's different events going on every single day. And it's just fun. Like it's 20,000 of us in Tampa having fun. It's like a big party. What is the name of the audiobook that's on YouTube? What audiobook? Did anyone go over an audiobook?
Yes, You Are a Badass at Making Money. Is it the one I talked about?
Oh, okay. And that's probably it. Oh, yeah. Sasha just texted me. You Are a Badass. So that's the audiobook. I don't know if that's on YouTube. Is it, Gabby?
You Are a Badass at Making Money and You Are a Badass is on YouTube. So
oh, cool. How much are conference tickets? Right now, they're $229. That comes with free wrap rewards, free keto coffee rewards, and facial rewards. So you can get them at a very, very discounted price. Wrap rewards, you can get them at $25, the wraps and the facials. And I think keto coffee, you can get it for $19. And it comes with 20 coupon codes to sign up 20 people for $20. So do the math. Okay, so you sign up 20 people for $20, right? So if $99 is like something that you're like stuck with and not signing distributors right now, it's $20 when you buy your conference ticket. And if you fast start every single one of those 20 people, you make $2,000 in just bonuses by fast starting those 20 people. So, like that is like life-changing. It's incredible that they're even doing this. This is the first time they've done it. I've signed up, I think, already like 11 or 12 people with my coupon codes. It's like incredible. So tips on going live. I know. Okay. I'm going to be honest. I don't go live. Carli, talk about going live because I don't go live.
Okay. So like, I just kept cussing. Yeah, I cuss a lot too. Like I said, it's okay to make mistakes on it. Like you are a human, but like don't think about it when you're doing it. Just like I do it like when I'm at the beach and I'm like, oh my gosh, look at this view. Like we're just chilling here, working here. Like this could be you too. Like that could be a super quick live video. Even if you want to do it, like record yourself first a couple of times and you could like post it on your Instagram story. People see that too, but when you go live, it's like, oh, what are they up to? So like do it when you're doing something fun or like when you're doing something like where you would have been working but now you didn't have to. People will love that. Just like talk about your life. Like even like if you just go live, like doing something not even about the business, but like everything relates to the business, let's be real. What else? You just can't be nervous. You just gotta like do it, like step out of your comfort zone and just don't even think about it and just talk.
I feel like you're talking to me right now.
Directly to you.
I know. Michelle said lots of inspiration. So this is about conference. Music, meeting amazing people, learning so much. That's what conference is like. Literally. Like it's like so fun. Like I literally wish conference was like tomorrow because like I can't wait for the event. Like I just can't wait to be with everyone and just having fun and hanging out. Like that's what this business is about. It's just fun. And the most like what changed things for me was the inspiration, like seeing the people I see online, like actually on stage crying, sharing their story, like being real people and vulnerable and like seeing like, okay, like these people are normal. They're real. They're funny. They're weird. Like we're all like, we all have these personalities and it's like on social media, you see highlight reel and you're like, oh my God, like if like she's so amazing. Like she's so beautiful. Like I can't be like her, but it's like at conference, you really get to see these people and you're like, they're no different than I am.
And that's why you need to go live to show them you're not different and you're a person.
Oh, Carli.
We're like seeing all the leaders on stage and like sharing their stories and just like learning from them. Like people work their businesses so differently. So you learn so many amazing tips at conference.
Yeah.
I'm like running out of air. I'm so excited for conference.
Me too. I can't wait. Where are the events happening? So conference is in Tampa. It's at the Amalie Arena. So you fly wherever you're from, you fly right into Tampa, and that event is just right there in Tampa. How do you fast start people? So when you enroll a distributor, like let's say, okay, I'm brand new, I enroll Sasha, right? When I enroll Sasha, like I want to help her get her customers. Once she gets 2 customers and 150 in volume, she's fast started, and that means I get a $100 bonus. So I can either pass the customers to her on her own, and I make a $100 bonus. And what's amazing is I don't make that $100 bonus until Sasha's getting customers and making money herself. So you don't get the bonus just for signing the person up. You get the bonus once you're helping that person make money. So
be a billionaire through this company and not work.
do you have any tips on getting distributors? Carrie, that's in the video. So Gabby basically talked about how she gets distributors and what she does to get them. So this is a recording, so reach out to your upline. We'll get the recording out there, but she went over all her tips on how to get distributors. Shout out to whoever from. Thanks, Ash. Yeah, I mean, it's incredible. Like I give like a lot of my success to events and conference because it changes everything. Like it literally, like I said, I promote every single year I go to conference except for this past year, but every year I go, I promote, and it re-inspires me, and it gets me so pumped up, and I just love being with my team and meeting new people that I just talk to on the phone or on Zoom or on FaceTime, so it's an amazing event. Do what you need to do to get there. I was a diamond, but I was not making a lot of money. I had bills, I had school to pay for, and I used the last amount of money that I had that month to get there. You room with people. You're not going to go and be in a hotel by yourself. You're going to room with people. There's a conference page we have that we'll add you into, and you'll talk to people who need roommates just to get there. If this business is a priority to you, don't look at this as, oh my gosh, this is so much money. Look at this as an investment, because once you go to conference, your business is going to boom. Like there's no one I know that goes to conference and comes back and doesn't promote or doesn't make more money. You have to look at this as an investment because it's going to change everything in your business. And if you feel stuck or if you feel uninspired, you need to get to an event, because once you do, you'll really be able to, feel this fire within, like all of us have talked about, and it's going to change everything for you, like everything. And usually the people who I say get to conference and they go to conference, they're like, Nay nagged me. She got me to conference and it changed everything for me, so you have to go, do whatever you can, sell things. I know Gabby sold things one month to, I don't know, run an auto ship or something, but sell clothes, do what you have to do and get there and save money and just room with people, and it's going to be cheap. And, just put your flights on a credit card and just go, because once you come back, your business is going to boom. You're going to be able to pay all that off, and it's not even going to matter after you go, because you're just going to feel so good about this business. So I'm going to end it tonight because I don't want it to go too much over. But guys, I legit sold stuff to Plato's Closet to cover my auto ship and collected my change for my dad's car. Yes. See, you do what you got to do to make this business work. So guys, I'm so thankful for all my leaders being on tonight and sharing your story and sharing your heart with everyone and just inspiring everyone. You guys inspired me with all my stories. I'm just so excited for this month end, and stay focused. Don't let anything intimidate you with your rank, what you need to get done for the promotion you want to get to this month. Just get it done, because anything can happen. We have so much time left of the month, and just focus and put your mind to it, and you'll get there. Just focus on your business and put it first, and you're going to put the work behind it, and you're just going to see where it's going to take you. So, Caitlin, let me see. What are your top self-development books? Yeah, 10X. I mean, it's different for everyone. People like the 10X, Be Obsessed with the Average. There's what You're a Badass at Making Money. No Secret. Hidden in Your Mind by Anthony. Girl, Wash Your Face. Yeah, those are a lot of good self-development books. I just listen to them. I don't read them. So I take it in like better like that. What price should customers go by on the website? There's a retail price and a loyal customer price. So you can give them both options and they can decide what they want. And also talk to your upline too, so she can help you with wording. But yeah, all right, guys, have a good night. And thanks so much for hopping on and hanging out with us tonight. And I hope that you guys all leave tonight inspired and ready to promote and work your business harder than ever. All right, bye.